Hello guys, it's card class day. It's your favorite day of the month. We're gonna make a card that has a vellum base. Gonna make a cute butterfly card, and we're gonna make this Untouched Landscapes gorgeous card just in time for summer and maybe for some of those vacations that take you out into the wilderness, or maybe it's just your daily walk. I don't know, wherever you find your untouched landscapes. I know I'm lucky enough to be able to go on an incentive trip, which very few demonstrators earn. I think it's less than 1% with Stampin' Up! To Alaska next week. So this stamp set is reminding me of that and getting me excited. Now, if it would just pack for me, that would be great. My name is Cogbill, and my business is called Paper Made Prettier. This is online card class, so once a month, you're going to get to see me make 3 cards. We're using Untouched Landscapes, which is a gorgeous stamp set. We're using the Aflutter Bundle, which, you know, if you know Stampin' Up, you know punches run out quickly. It hasn't run out yet, but fair warning, it's just kind of a known. And then the final card we're making, well, 2 cards we're making use this Phrases and Frames bundle. Now, our stamp set, I would suggest getting the bundle. The frames are fantastic. We use those at my catalog launch, so you can look at that video. But we're just going to use the stamp set for the sentiments today. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with my first card on the left here. And this is a card, I actually got the whole idea about a card from my friend Jennifer. She's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and we are going to use the entire card base is made of vellum, okay? And this vellum is very sturdy for vellum, okay? And the only way you can get it is it's only $5 with a $75 purchase. 12 sheets of this gorgeous vellum. You have this open floral pattern. You have this closer floral pattern. You've got this green peaceful pine pattern and this fresh freesia pattern. And there are 3 sheets of each of these 4 designs. It's a hefty pack for only a $75 purchase. You only pay $5 for that pack of paper. Now, vellum, I don't usually score vellum on my scoring board because it's not super thick. So I just take my bone folder and do that. Now, you're going to use 4, or actually you're going to have 2 of these larger arches from the Everyday Arch dies. Now, just to make it easier, you're going to put your inside arch on first, in the middle. Just center it with your eyeballs. Nothing fancy here. All right, and then you're going to close that base, and you can see that outline. And then that's where your second arch is going to go. Just line it up with the one underneath. So this is one of the few cases where you'll make the inside of the card first. Now, we could stick this vellum on like this, but I mean, we could stick it straight on, but it's a lot prettier with this white behind it. And now that I see, yeah, if we put this strip on, then that is going to show through. So we're going to cut another arch. I knew there was a reason that I made that arch. And we're going to it's the exact same size as the arch we cut out with our Berry Botanicals Vellum. Now, we're going to put this little strip across. Now, I'll tell you, because this vellum is so thick, you can use adhesive on it and it doesn't show. Now, I will say some of my ladies, last night at card class, I have a live card class. If you're in Central Arkansas, let me know. I'd love for you to come. Use glue, and the glue does show through a little bit. So just a tip, if you're a glue lady, you might want to skip to glue dots or Stampin' Seal for this card. All right, now we're going to use our Phrases and Frames. Now, you could use a number of things, but I love this Sending You Hugs. You can't ever go wrong with sending someone a hug. And we're going to use our new magnetic ink pad. This is Peaceful Pine. See how easy that opens and shuts? It's magnetic. And it stacks onto all of its magnetic friends. I'll show you in a minute. And while I'm stamping my little die cut, this die cut is from Sweet Words and Labels. It's that Winnie the Pooh set. You'll love that if you don't already have it. You're going to shift it a little bit to the right, but you can see these ink pads stack together so nicely because they're magnetic, so that helps when you're storing things. They're not going to topple over or slide around on each other. And right now, our 5 ink pads are free with the purchase of a starter kit. So this ends May 31st. Do not delay. But your starter kit is $125 for $99, no shipping in the US, okay? And it is, you can either choose the 5 free ink pads, which is a $63 value, 64, something like that, or you can choose an extra $35 worth in products. There's no requirements of what you choose on your starter kit. You can choose anything. So why not get a great deal plus those 5 free ink pads? I mean, if I could take advantage of it, I would, but I'm already a happy shopper. So I suggest that you do it. Now, you don't have to stay a happy shopper if you don't want to. You can try it out, try it on for size, see what you think about it. If you like the discount that you're going to get on your future purchases, as long as your subscription is kept, then you get to have that opportunity to get that 20% off as long as you keep up your purchases, which is easy to do. So let me know if you're interested in that. I will be out of town starting on Saturday, so I'd like for you to holler at me earlier than that so I can help you if you need to. Plus, keep in mind, Stampin' Up! Is closed on the weekend, so you definitely want to take care of it by Friday. Okay, our next card is, well, let me show you some other projects made with that pretty vellum. This is another card using the same structure, but I used designer paper as the base. This is a card, and my daughter colored this on that artisan sketched paper with our new sparkle pens. I can't think of what they're called. Shimmer pens. Couldn't think of the name real quick. All right, let me show you my other projects made with this vellum. So I made this last week. You can just scroll up on YouTube if you're on YouTube and see my fun fold card that I made with this last week. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. You will not want to miss any of my cool videos. If you're on Facebook, like and share so that other people will see. And turn on your notifications on Facebook so you don't miss another video from me. I go live every Wednesday at 1 Central. All right, so you're going to need that Berry Botanicals Vellum. I am down to like 1 sheet left after using it and having it in class. So if you earn this kit of the free class with purchase, your cards may be already created for this one. All right, let's go to our next card, and that is our All Aflutter Bundle. Now this one, it's just, it sells itself, right? We've got a punch, that's butterflies, which are universally wonderful, okay? We've got a detailed stamp, a less detailed stamp, and then the background stamp. So you could 1, 2, 3, so kind of some different colors, and boom, you don't even have to color the butterflies. And we're not even coloring them, we're just keeping them Calypso coral. And we're going to use the friend stamp. So let's get started. The inks we're using for this card are Calypso Coral and Crisp Cantaloupe. So there's your other, in another in color. The other are Golden Glow and Barely Blush. They're very pretty. All right, so for this sweet card, we're going to start with a Calypso Coral base, which is one of my favorite spring colors. I would venture to say it's my favorite. We're gonna pop a little crisp cantaloupe strip onto here. Shift it a little bit down, and then we're gonna pop a designer paper strip here. Now this is one of our new designer papers. Let me grab my catalog and show you. You might miss it. It seems to just go really well with these butterflies. It has that vibe to me. It's called Beautiful Ordinary Life, and it has some great spring colors, and then the backs have black and white images. So make sure and pick up a pack of that. And then we're going to use our scallop die. I will never tire of this. I will use it probably every class until it's gone. It's got to be one of my favorites. So we're going to use Calypso Coral first to stamp our sentiment that just says friend. So you can decide if you want that to be happy birthday, thinking of you, just based on what you write inside to your friend. All right, then you're going to need a scrap of basic white to do your stamping with your butterflies. All right, so let's get our butterfly stamp. I'm going to see if I can kind of like, if you look at the stamp and kind of see where the stamps are, you can kind of like imagine where the punch might go. If you can see that there. Okay. And then we're going to slide it in. So we're going to, and I can see, this happens to me from time to time. If I was smarter, I could probably explain to you how to avoid having to do that. But you may have to sometimes trim off a little bit of your basic white to make it fit in that punch just right. So we're going to line it up and then punch, and you've got 3 butterflies. Now, if you were die cutting that, think how long that would take. But punch, bam, you're done. So I love punches. I hope you do too. All right, now we're going to find our little strip of crisp cantaloupe ribbon. It's not in my packet for some reason, but I just happen to have an extra packet here. And we're going to take just a smidge of this ribbon, and we're going to stick it to the back of our die cut. And then I usually find something kind of heavy, stick it there, and then I'm going to grab some tear and tape and just stick it across my scallop. So grab you some tear and tape. I think it's like $7, not big. And then we're going to pop the scallop up with dimensionals. 3 will do. And the last thing we're going to do is adhere our circle onto our scallop. And then we can add our butterflies one by one. Looking for the sample card. I don't know, I've buried it. It's probably right in front of me. Anywho, you'll see it in a second when we're done. Just kind of make a triangle with your butterflies So that's kind of a design thing. If you've got 3 of something, and I just stuck 2 down, popped 1 up, then you've got, it pleases your eyes. Now I'm going to use these Sunset Sparkle sequins. These go with the Seaside suite. They're called Sunset Sparkle. And we're gonna go with these Calypso coral ones. 1, 2, and then we'll put 1 over here. Oh, there's my sample. My other one was on top of it. For some reason, this one only has 1 sequin, so we definitely want 3. Okay, so all the Aflutter Bundle, make sure and pick that up on your order as well. Now I've got lots and lots of cards with this. I've got this card. These are swaps that are made from my friends and my stamp team. One of the best things about being on my Stampin' Up! Team is that we get to trade cards with each other. That's honestly one of the reasons why some of my people are just happy shoppers. They don't ever want to stop trading with each other. It's so fun. So you make 12 of a card, up to 12, and then we'll put them all together and sort them back out, and you come away with 12 cards. Fantastic. Now, if you're part of my Stamp Technique Club, we're going to make these cards at Stamp Technique Club in a few weeks. Not this coming weekend or the next weekend, but the 13th. You can take this class to go, but we're going to learn how to make that border around your die cuts vanish. So we're going to learn the vanishing border technique. All right, our next card is our landscape card. This one jumped out the hardest at me in the book. When I saw the new stamp offering, and I don't know why, it just got me, and I didn't think about it again until we had our stamp retreat, and my friend Noelle made a card very similar to this. This is actually one my mom made, but gorgeous. Okay, just line them up. They kind of the stamps, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stamps. 1, 2, are these 2 separates? No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stamps. These are just the 6 we're not going to use. And they just nest together to make these beautiful landscapes. And this is what they look like all in a row. But you can pick and choose which ones you're going to use. And so we're going to use the top 3 for this next card. 1, 2, 3. This is a great swap that I received trading with my Stampin' friends. And let's see, let me get my Stampin' Positioner. So this one we love using our Stampin' Positioner with, and we're going to use it to do our first stamped image. So we've got to make sure that our paper, this is how you use your Stampin' Positioner. Make sure your paper is lined up with those tines. Okay, and then when I set this up, I drew a little square around where my paper was going to go. You want to get your magnets pretty close in to where you're stamping, versus with our Stamparatus, you used to kind of keep them far away. But I kind of get them as close as I can without going over the stamp. So kind of like The Price is Right, if that helps you remember. So I've already lined this up with the top of that piece of basic beige, so it's going to go in the right place every time. That's great for class because we don't have to worry about having crooked stamps. Now this is these new ink pads are magnetic, but they're also felt, so you can kind of, they don't tend to overstamp as much as our foam pads. All right, so you can see we've got our sky in there. Voila. Now, if you were making multiples of these, you could set all 3 of the stamps up in the Stamparatus, in the Stampin' Positioner. But we are going to use 3 different colors, so that makes that tricky. So we're going to freehand the second 2, And you could probably freehand all 3 of them if you wanted to, but I love getting that first one straight, and then you can kind of come in with your number 2 and number 3. Now this one, if you'll notice, the line here and the line here line up with your basic beige, and then you want that top of that mountain to go almost up to the clouds. So the whole stamp is tilted kind of up if you're just lining it up with your eye at the bottom, if that makes any sense. So there's your mountains. And honestly, I can tell you I was a little skeptical as how easy this card would be. And last night at card class, all of my stampers, including some beginners, had no problems. So it's great for beginners. It just get some ink, get some paper, and go, go, go. So now we're going to stamp our little trees right in that crevice that is underneath those mountains. Now, this looks a little harsh for our scenery. So we're going to take a blending brush and we're going to use our Peaceful Pine. Now when you're blending, always start off on your scratch paper and then come on to your stamped area, and that will keep you from getting those blotches. If I do this and just go straight down, look, I get a huge blotch. Okay, but if I do this, then I'm not going to get that blotch anymore. So that's a little trick and tip that you've learned today. You've learned lots of tips today. How to use the Stampin' Positioner, how to make a card with a vellum base, and how to use a blending brush properly. All right, so, and you can order blending brushes from Stampin' Up. That's one that my sweet friend gave me. So it's colored, but our Stampin' Up ones are fantastic as well. Okay, so now we're going to put our card together. Now our sentiment goes on the inside, which is cool. And I'll tell you, I've cut off a little 1.25 piece on the front, but we're going to use that in a minute. So fantastic. I love this card layout. I'll probably be using it again. And then you're going to close this up. Stick this here. And then we're going to be stamping our sentiment here. Now, unfortunately, I can be a person that can forget a birthday. I admit, sometimes it gets past me. I just do too many things. So if you forget a birthday, you can use this stamp that says, I didn't forget your birthday, I just wanted it to last longer. Isn't that fantastic? Now you could use the Peaceful Pine or the Basic Gray here. I use Peaceful Pine here, and I use Basic Gray here. Either one is fine. Let's see. Now we're going to put this stamped image onto a little Basic Gray piece. And then we're going to set this down right here. Okay, and then we're going to take a pen and just draw across the top, just in the middle, because that's going to be covered up. And we're going to stamp a couple of tree lines. I don't know if you can see that, it's subtle, but a couple of little tree lines on the edges of this card. So right here and right here. All right, you don't have to do it in the middle because your stamped image is going to cover that up. And then we're going to put that leftover strip down. Isn't that cool? How you like cut off that strip to get that sentiment there, but then you use that. And so it's great use of cardstock, but also keeps you from having to cut out a die cut for your sentiment. Your sentiment just goes right there. I think it's very efficient. And then this little piece, you're going to avoid this lower area because that's going to be hanging off the edge a little bit, so don't put adhesive there. And then the last thing you're going to do is add some embellishments. These are called dewdrop embellishments, and they go with the Fern and Flora suite. I haven't used the darker blue one. Oh, I like that. I wasn't sure what it would look like. We used the Mossy Meadow one. There's also a clear one. So it's a great embellishment, put that in your cart as well. Now, remember, Untouched Landscapes is the name of your stamp set, and that sentiment that I used there also came from Phrases and Frames. This is indispensable. It's just a great all-purpose sentiment set that you want to add to your cart. Now let's check out these Phrases and Frames. These Untouched Landscape cards. These are two versions of the same card. My mom made this, and I made this one. You can see they're interpreted just a little bit different. I actually think my mom's is prettier, so we can all tell her that if we see her. And then we have this gorgeous card made with that Untouched Landscapes, and it looks like we've done some blending of the sky and also the ground there. This is by Leanne Griff. All right, so we've got 3 gorgeous stamp sets that are versatile and great for experienced stampers all the way down to beginners. We're going to make a landscape, a butterfly, and a vellum card for card class. Now, I want to remind you, make sure and subscribe to my channel. When you order $50 from me, now this has to be by Monday. I believe that's June 1st, whatever date Monday is. Then you'll get the Make and Takes, plus a tutorial bundle with 11 projects that are floral. It's great for me. You want to get Untouched Landscapes, the Aflutter Bundle, Phrases and Frames stamp set, but I would go ahead and get the whole bundle. It's cool. When you make a $75 order, you'll get those 12 sheets of Berry Botanicals Vellum for only $5. And then the best deal is the starter kit, where you can get all 6 of these in colors. So these 3 plus Barely Blush and Golden Glow. And then you get to pick out $125 of items for only $99. So you could pick out some of these bundles. You could get some cardstock, some adhesives, whatever. And that is no shipping. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. But don't wait until the weekend. Do it by Friday. So in case you need help, I can help you, or Stampin' Up! Can help you get that squared away. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.